Hello children, welcome to the YouTube channel of Velkin National School Vasai East. This is Mrs. Mamata Biju, your subject teacher of SST. Today I will be teaching for standard 8th, that is civics chapter number 5, the state government. In the last chapters we understood the nature of union parliament and union executive. We were also introduced to the integrated judicial system in India. In this chapter, we will study the government of constituent states or state government. In the federal system, the government exists at two levels. Federal, that is the central government, works at the national level, and the state government works at the regional or state level. Now, in this paragraph, they have explained that in the earlier chapter, we learned about the Union Parliament and Union Executive. Now, we have also read about the judicial system in India. In this chapter, we will learn about the state government. In the federal system, the government has two levels in which central government works at the national level and the state government works at the regional or state level. India has background. India has a large geographic expanse with a multicultural population. There is diversity in language, religion, ways of life, and regional characteristics. It would not have been possible to govern from a centralized place. Therefore, the Constitution has adopted a federal setup for India. It was decided to form the states on the basis of language. Accordingly, linguistic reorganization of states took place. The nature of government machinery in all states of India is same. However, Jammu and Kashmir is an exception. Let us now study the governments in states with reference to Maharashtra. Now, in the background paragraph, they have explained that India is with full of multicultural population, means there are population of the mixed caste and diversity in language, religion. So, the Constitution had adopted a federal setup for India. Now, it was decided to form the states on the basis of language, but the nature of the government machinery is always same in all the states, in which Jammu and Kashmir was an exception. State legislature. Like the parliament at the central level, every state has its own legislature, but only 7 states in India have two houses, that is bicameral legislature. Maharashtra has a bicameral legislature. The members of the state legislature are known as members of Legislative Assembly, that is MLA. So, if you want to know the full form of MLA is members of Legislative Assembly, or the members of Legislative Council. Now, in short, they have written MLC. Now, over here in this paragraph, they have explained that every state has its own legislature. In India, 7 states have 2 houses, that is bicameral legislature. So, Maharashtra is a bicameral legislature. The state legislature members are known as the members of Legislative Assembly or members of the Legislative Council. Legislature of Maharashtra. Legislature of Maharashtra has 2 houses. It has 2 houses, namely is Vidhan Sabha, that is Legislative Assembly, and Vidhan Parishad, that means Legislative Council. Now they have given the picture of Vidhan Bhavan, that is in Mumbai. Okay. Vidhan Sabha, that is Legislative Assembly. This is the first house of Maharashtra legislature and comprises of 288 members. In case there is inadequate representation of the Anglo-Indian community, the governor nominates one member from this community in the Vidhan Sabha. Some seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Maharashtra is divided into terrestrial constituencies for the purpose of elections. One member is elected from each of the constituencies. Tenure of Vidhan Sabha is 5 years. However, in exceptional circumstances, elections can be held. Therefore, the completion of 5 years. Any citizen residing in Maharashtra and who has completed 25 years of age can contest the elections to the Vidhan Sabha. Now, over here in Vidhan Sabha paragraph, they have explained that it is the first house of Maharashtra. It comprises 288 members. If there is not sufficient representation of the Anglo-Indian community, then the governor nominates one member from the Vidhan Sabha. Seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and Maharashtra is divided into terrestrial constituencies for election purpose. Tenure of Vidhan Sabha is 5 years. Any citizen residing in Maharashtra and who has completed 25 years of age can contest the elections to the Vidhan Sabha. Speaker of Vidhan Sabha. The proceedings of the Vidhan Sabha are carried out under the supervision and guidance of the Speaker. The elected members of the newly constituted Vidhan Sabha elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Vidhan Sabha from amongst themselves. The Speaker has many responsibilities which range from the power to prepare the order of business to carry out the proceedings of the House in a disciplined manner, or to suspend members for misbehavior or misconduct. In absence of the Speaker, the responsibility is taken over by the Deputy Speaker. Maharashtra legislature conduct minimum 3 sessions in a year. The budget session and monsoon session is conducted in Mumbai, while the winter session is conducted in Nagpur. Now over here in this paragraph they have explained that proceedings of Vidhan Sabha is carried out under the supervision and the guidance of the Speaker. Now the elected members of Vidhan Sabha elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker among themselves. The Speaker responsibility is to prepare the order of the business, and it has to carry out the proceedings of the House in a disciplined manner and suspend the members for who misbehaves or misconduct, and in the absence of the Speaker the responsibility is taken over by the Deputy Speaker. So in the Maharashtra legislature there are minimum 3 sessions in a year, that is to be conducted 3 sessions in a year. Okay, the budget session and the monsoon session is conducted in Mumbai, and the winter session is conducted in Nagpur location. Vidhan Parishad Legislative Council. It is the second house of the Maharashtra legislature, and members are indirectly elected from various sections of the society. There are 78 members in the Vidhan Parishad of Maharashtra. Of these, some members who are distinguished personalities from the field of literature, science and social service are nominated by the governor. Remaining representatives are elected by the members of Vidhan Sabha, local government institution, then teacher constituencies and graduate constituencies. The Vidhan Parishad is never fully dissolved. A specific number of members retire every 2 years, and these vacant seats are filled again by conducting fresh elections for those seats. The proceedings of the Vidhan Parishad are conducted under the control and guidance of the chairman. In absence of the chairman, the deputy chairman takes over the responsibility. Now over here in this paragraph they have explained that it is the second house of the Maharashtra legislature and the members are indirectly elected from various sessions of the society. 78 members are there in Vidhan Parishad of Maharashtra. Some members are from different personalities like the field of literature, then science and social services, which are nominated by the governor. Now it is never fully dissolved and a specific number of members retire every 2 years and vacant seats are filled by conducting fresh elections. The proceedings are controlled under the guidance of the chairman. So all these proceedings are conducted according to the under the guidance of the chairman. And the members are retired every 2 years, and once the member is retired, in that place, in that vacant seat is conducted by giving a fresh election for those seats. Executive of Maharashtra. The Governor, Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers together form the Executive of Maharashtra. Governor. The President is a nominal head at the center while the Governor is a titular nominal head at the state level. Governor is appointed by the President and holds the office under the pleasure of President. The governor also enjoys certain legislative powers. For example, the bill passed by the Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad are converted into laws only after receiving the assent of the governor. The governor has the right to summon the session of the state legislature. When the legislature is not in session but the need arises to make the law, then the governor can issue an ordinance for the same. Now over here in this paragraph they have explained that governor is the nominal head of the state level. So it is appointed by the president and holds the office during the pleasure of the president. Now he enjoys certain legislative powers. What he enjoys? Certain legislative powers, that is, the bill passed by the Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad are converted into laws only after receiving the assent of the governor. Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers. The leader of the majority party in legislative assembly becomes the chief minister. The chief minister includes his/her trustworthy colleagues in the council of ministers. Like the prime minister, who is executive head of the union, the chief minister is the head of the state executive. The government of the state is run in the name of governor, but in reality the administration is carried out by the chief minister. Now over here in this paragraph they have explained that majority party in legislative assembly becomes the chief minister and he includes trustworthy colleagues in the council of ministers. The prime minister, who is the executive head of the union, same way the chief minister is the head of the state executive. Government of state is run in the name of the governor, but the administration is carried out by the chief minister. Creation of the state executive. After proving the majority, the chief minister forms his/her council of ministers. This is a challenging task because, in order to make the council more representative, various regions and social groups, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward castes, women and minorities, etc., have to be accommodated. If no party secures a clear majority, different parties can come together to form the government. In such case, the chief minister has to perform the difficult task of giving a place to all the constituent parties in the alliance. Now, over here in this paragraph, they have explained that once the majority is done, the chief minister form his or her council of ministers, which is the challenging task to make the council more representative. Now, in this various region and social groups, accommodation is required. When no party is secured, then the different parties come together to form the government. And in this case, the chief minister has to perform difficult tasks by giving a place to all the constituent parties in the alliance. Distribution of the portfolio. After the formation of the Council of Ministers, the Chief Minister has to distribute portfolios among the ministers. While distributing portfolios, she has to consider the political experience, administrative skills, awareness of public opinion, leadership quality, etc. Now, over here in this paragraph, they have explained that once the Council of Ministers are formed, the Chief Minister distributes the portfolio among the ministers. Before considering it, his or her consider the political experience, then the administrative skills, then the awareness of the public opinion and the leadership quality. Coordination between the ministers' department. The Chief Minister along with his Council of Ministers are collectively responsible to the Legislative Assembly. The Chief Minister bears the ultimate responsibility of the efficient administration. Absence of the cooperation and coordination between departments can affect the working of the government. Therefore, the Chief Minister has to resolve conflict between the departments and ensure that they work towards the same goal and in the same direction. Now, in this paragraph, they have explained that Chief Minister is his responsibility is of the efficient administration, and without the cooperation and coordination, it affects the department and it also affects the working of the department. So, it is necessary for the Chief Minister to resolve the conflict between the department and has to work towards the same goal in the same direction. Leader of the state. Just as the Prime Minister leads the country, the Chief Minister leads the state. The Chief Minister has to make new policies by taking note of problems and concern of the people and work towards the welfare of the people of the state. The people look at the Chief Minister as a problem solver. The Chief Minister intervenes in issues facing the state and comforts the people. Maharashtra is one of the progressive states in India. The state leads in sectors like education, industries, service sector, health and social security, etc. Terror attack and Naxalite, that is left-wing extremist movement active in certain regions are the two major challenges facing the state of Maharashtra. And now in this paragraph they have explained that the Prime Minister leads the country. So same way the Chief Minister leads the state. Chief Minister makes new policies and note down the problems and the concern of the people and work for the welfare of the people. The Chief Minister intervenes in issues face the state and the comforts of the people. Now it is said that the Maharashtra is one of the progressive state in India. So it leads in sectors like education, then industries, then service sectors, then health and social security and etc. And there is a terror attack and Naxalite movement is also become an active in the certain region where there are major challenges to be faced by the state of Maharashtra. Now students, we have completed this chapter. Hope you all have understood this chapter. Bye students, take care and have a nice day.